Now, preparations are underway for the 80th anniversary of VE Day and vjday to remember those who served in the Second World War.
Yeah, some of the women involved in the war effort have been sharing their stories at a special event held in honour of their contributions. And John Maguire was invited along to meet them. And just a warning that this report does contain some flashing images.
Now I know how Marilyn Monroe must have.
They are stars indeed. This band of sisters each played their part 80 years ago, vital cogs in a vast war machine that defeated the Nazis and secured victory, first in Europe and then in Japan. Ruth Bourne was one of Bletchley Park's famous code breakers. She remembers applying for leave on VE Day and heading to London to join the celebrations.
We went outside Buckingham Palace. All the crowds were moving towards there, and we shouted, "We want the king, we want the king." We want the king, we want the king. They came out eventually onto the balcony, and everybody waved. Anything they'd got on, they took off and waved, scarves, and people climbed up. Every available lamppost was climbed up and cheering, and it was euphoric, people. That was a very great moment.
Marie Scott was also in London on May the 8th, 1945. She was based deep underground near Portsmouth in the communications headquarters for D-Day and the Battle of Normandy. She remembers the arrival of VE Day was extremely welcome.
It was a wonderful, wonderful atmosphere, you can imagine. People were immensely overjoyed that the war was over. I mean, I was 13 when the war began, and I lived as a child through the Blitz. I can remember the docks being bombed, they were obliterated, and the sky was red for a couple of days. So, you know, I'd had my share of war.
These wonderful women have been brought together for lunch at the RAF Club. Guests of the London cabbies in the taxi charity for military veterans. Among them Dorothea Barron. She taught semaphore and signalling to those heading to fight in Northern Europe. She joined the Women's Royal Naval Service, the Wrens, as soon as she could. Many lied about their age when enlisting, but Dorothea stretched the truth in a different way.
Well, I lied about my height.
How can you do that?
Well, it was supposed to be 5 feet 3 inches, and I would never get to 5 feet 3. I was about 5 feet 2 and a bit, if you were generous. So I cut cardboard and popped it in the heels of my shoes to pop me up a bit, and I fluffed up my hair like mad to try to get it puffing up higher, and then perched my Bren hat on top. Anything to try to be 5 feet 3. But I think they took pity on me. They saw I was so determined to become a Wren.
Also here is Arlette Gondret. Her parents ran the cafe next to Pegasus Bridge in northern France. Just a small child during the war. Now, each year she commemorates D-Day, June the 6th. Fighting lasted for another 11 months in Europe, but for Arlette, the Allied invasion in 1944 meant liberation.
But in France, they celebrate the 8th of May in a different way. I will be celebrating the 8th of May on the 6th of June. Impact, naturally, of the 5th or 6th of June 44 was, oh, thank you so much, we have been liberated. But one knew that they had to push further on, the ones who were with us, and their battles continued right to Holland and the concentration camps.
As with the fighting men they served alongside, these women, whom once were among many, know that increasingly they are the remaining few. They've lived long and fulfilled lives since, but today recall the events of 80 years ago and remember their role in securing our freedom. John Maguire, BBC News, London.
And we have loved hearing those stories, haven't we, over the last couple of days? Incredible.
What remarkable women.
Yes.
They all look so well too.
Yes.
Right.